Hey guys, this is Leo here, and this is the final technical presentation for our Capstone class Spring 2020. And let's get started. So as a user, I want to be able to see or switch to the music feed dedicated for music posts so that I could see what other songs my friends are sharing. So this child user story uses the prototype design pattern, and the general structure is that we have a client and a prototype, and the prototype has a concrete prototype and its subclass prototype. The prototype declares an interface for cloning itself. Usually it is a single clone method. Concrete prototype implements an operation for cloning itself. So in addition to copying the original object's data to the clone, and then the subclass prototype has the same purpose as the concrete prototype, but could also extend the base class by defining additional properties, behavior, and the client creates a new object by asking a prototype to clone itself. So basically we have the bottom navigation bar here, and then it has the on press function, its color, label text, raise button, and then it basically clones itself by adding 4 more, which is what we use for our contents tab in our Simso app. We have the thoughts bottom navigation bar. We have the memes bottom navigation bar. We have the snapshots bottom navigation bar, and the music bottom navigation bar, which are kind of the concrete prototype or the subclass prototype. So as a user, I want to be able to see the user's profile pic and username corresponding to each music post, along with its title, genre, its last updated at info, so that I get an idea of who posted that song. This child user story basically uses the MVC architecture pattern, and the general idea is that we have a controller, model, view, and the view is hooked up to the controller, and the controller is kind of connected to the model, so that we can get data back to the controller and displayed on the view side. So here we are wanting to get the user's profile pic and also username corresponding to each music post and then the music post we need to get its title, genre, and last updated at info. So we have the homepage controller here that is hooked up to the services or the model, and then the view is over here where we display our song info and also the user info, and the models are both the song model and the user model, and these are the information for the songs and for the users, and they are all hooked up to the controller. When the view is displayed, the controller, which is connected to the view, will call these functions to get the data, and then the data will be passed back to the view to be shown to the users. As a user, I want to be able to tap on the user's profile picture, circular avatar, so that I'm navigated to their profile pic for a page for further info. This also uses the MVC architecture that we highly implement in our Simso app. The general idea is the same. Here we have the profile page controller where we display each user's profile info, and it's hooked up to the user services or user model, and then we have the user model here that gets the info and display it. So we call the services it's kind of the dependency injection thing, where we will talk about in a later child user story, but we have song service and user service where we pull in song data for that particular user and also the user info for that particular user, and then we display in the profile page view. As a user, I want to see a list of friends' music posts in the home page music tab, so that I get up to date on what they like listening to currently. So here we use dependency injection, where we have the getIt class locator injector in the main program folder, and then we have the client homepage where we inject the data by hooking up the service. The service is hooked up to the injector, and we inject that dependency for that iSong service, which is hooked up to the song model. And then basically we call this function the content song list, where we filter by friends for each user. Depending on how many friends you have, it will filter out those songs that belongs to those friends of that user, and then pass it back through the service to the injector back to the home page. Here we can see the client, and then the injector is hooked up to the client, and then the client has been injected with the song service, and then the injector calls the song service, and song service calls the song model. So this here is for the non-friends music post. As a user, I want to see a list of non-friends music posts in the new content music tab, so that I get up to date on what other people are listening to currently. Basically, we use the same idea of injection, but this time our song service content song list is filtered based on non-friends, and then those non-friends songs will be returned back from the injector, or when we call the injector and then the service is called, hooked up to the song model, and then all those data will go back to the client and will be displayed on the client view, which is the new content music tab. So as a user, I want to be able to tap on the music post artwork so that I could listen to that specific song on the spot. This child user story uses the MVC architecture pattern because the functions for playing a song is all based in the controller. The view has two functions that calls the playable or the audio player, as you can see here, the class. Basically, by pressing on play func or pause func, func mean function, and then you will pass in the song URL through those two functions, and then from there we will initiate a audio player, and then it will play the song, and then based on first tab for play and second tab for pause, and then the song model is used because we are generating data on the view, homepage view, based on the song model, where we get all the song artwork, URL, and the title, all that stuff. As a user, I want to be navigated to the My Music page in the profile page, My Music tab, so that I can see what songs I posted. This is also using the MVC architecture pattern, where we have model, view, and controller. So when we tap on the My Music tab under the profile page, we are navigated, and we can see the My Music page based on MVC architecture, where we have the view display all the music that you posted in a grid view insta format, and then the controller will get the songs and all that stuff. Also, each click on a song post that you have will open up a new page using the controller, so that you can see the details of that song post, for example, title, all that stuff, and that also uses the song model. Alright, that's it for my video. Thank you so much. Bye.